Logging in. Back to the Sage dashboard. Welcome again to RAR Business Institute. Enjoy your tutorials. Good luck. Sage tutorial. I want to take you across what we did in our last video. We created customers, and you can check the customer list from my left under the links. We have 2 customers. We can also check our suppliers, the supplier list down there, same pattern. We also have list of items, products. There it is. Now we want to start by setting, before we set the tax codes, I'll take you through setting of our charts of account. Example, things like current assets, fixed assets, liability, etc. You get them from module Nominal Ledger. Nominal Ledger. So in the Nominal Ledger, we want to record a few of these. We are going to be not very detailed, just particular, long enough to learn, but again short enough to understand much faster. Modulars, Nominal Ledger, the new. On top here is where you get the new. Now I'm going to create few accounts, because these accounts will help us to classify most of our transactions systematically. For example, I will set our fixed asset, the fixed asset list. Let me set the first fixed asset list. This can be land and buildings. I drop down to choose the type. That is a fixed asset. You go to next. It is a property. But which property? Land and building are property. Next. Yes, there's opening balance. Move to next. You can put the date. It is a debit. This is an asset of the company. So our land and building goes for around $500,000. There are lands that go around that. Don't be surprised. The next asset is motor vehicle. Motor vehicle, choose the type in the drop down list. Motor vehicle is a fixed asset. You put it under category of motor vehicles. Yes, there's an opening balance. motor vehicle is 1.5 million. And remember, the only beautiful thing about Sage is that any point of calculations or digit entry, there is a calculator. Like you see this, there's a calculator, and this one make calculations much easier, unlike other programs whereby you have to go and get calculator separately before you can work out your transactions. Next, finish. The next fixed asset is just give officer furniture. Furniture is a fixed asset. Put it under the category of furnitures and fixtures. Our furniture is around 220. And finally, we have computers. The reason I create this fixed asset is to allow me to later explain to you how to manage your fixed asset register. Computers, that can be office equipment. Next, we want to assume all our computers, maybe they go for 120,000. Finish. Now in the charts of account, what normally happened is that if you're doing accounting manually, it is normally recommended that fixed asset register are arranged in order of permanency, that is from land and building, office equipment, maybe motor vehicle. Yeah, but the system automatically arranges that for you in ascending order, so you don't worry about that. For example, if I come to my fixed asset here, I click this button, plus button, I'll be able to see all my assets. Properties, I have these properties: office equipment, furniture, very detailed, furnitures and fixtures, motor vehicle is also there, and you'll be given total assets. Now that's asset for you. And to create a liability and maybe current asset, these are fixed assets. Now let's go to current asset. Current assets, we have our current assets, things like cash in hand, Remember, cash in bank, we'll take it to bank, and in Sage I'll show you where to create bank from. This is a current asset. It's not stock, deposits and cash. You have to put all your details in the charts of account. You have to ensure you put them in the right category. If the category does not appear here, you have an option to edit this category. I'll show you later how to do that. Next, yes, cash in hand. You only have the amount we have. There's a fixed as a current asset. We can have also datas. Because some people have extremely hard time to differentiate between debtors and creditors. But don't worry, especially for non-accountants, we shall take care of that. You don't need to worry. Everybody can learn this system and use them very effectively. Accounting or no accounting background, you are good. However, accounting background is an added advantage. An added advantage. These are our debtors. How much do they owe us? They don't owe us much. Good. Now I want to set liability. We have liability like loans. And remember, loans, there are two types of loans. You have long-term and current liability. A loan is a liability. A long-term liability, take for example loan, is that loan that can go over 1 year before repayment. These short loans that are repayable before the year ends, those are called, the short loans are categorized under current liabilities. Long-term liabilities and current liabilities are short-term. Long-term loans go under long-term liabilities. These are the short loans, they go under current liabilities. Let's assume we've taken our loan to be paid in 2 years' time. Category, you must ensure you put the correct category. It will help you just in case you have a lot of accounts in your chart. That will be very good even in terms of reporting. You enjoy. We had a loan, not much, maybe around 450. Finish. Next, we also have our capital. Put the capital under capital and reserve. Share capital. Yes, there's an opening balance. Our capital is 3 meters, 3 million. Now that's the charts of account. I don't want to create more of this. Let me create the last one. That can be, let me also have like debtors, goods, creditors this time round. Those are current liabilities. Short-term liabilities. Next, done. That is done. That's the charts of account, and you can see from reports, you are able to check these reports. Later on I'll be guiding you through reports. If it's a detailed report, I'll guide you through all the reports that are required. There are those reports that you use to make effective decision in your business, but there are those reports that you use for management purpose, from day-to-day management and running of your business. I will show you all of them. So this is our company, Interswine Creations Limited. We have report. It's a very long report, 2 pages, around 3 pages. Remember, we don't have all these accounts, so I will show you what we do with these other accounts. We don't need them. In the report filter, you only choose what you want to see. You only choose what you want to see, the budget, previous year, and things like that. Another thing is that in Sage we have things like analyzer, list, graph. These things that make report working with very easy. Don't forget that even in Sage you are able to create budget. You usually create budget if you already have transaction of more than 6 months in the system. You'll be able to create those transactions. Now, so far, thank you for looking. Thank you for staying with me. Ensure you stick to the end of this video to improve your accounting skills. That will be very good. Is a plus to your career. I want to show you how to set tax. Setting of tax. Now, in Sage, we already have everything set. We only need to edit them, and that is what makes Sage different from other programs. Because in Sage you come to tool, you will find it already set, but come to setting. I want to set currencies, set product preferences, and all these things you see, right access, changing password, things like that. But for the tax, you don't need to come along this way. You only come to setting, configuration. Once you are in configuration, you will access so many types of settings. We have departmental, we have fixed asset, disputes, code, products, projects, and now do you see tax code here? That is where we set the tax. So you come and click the tax code. Like currently we have various type of tax code. I want to explain briefly what what we have in our Kenyan accounting system. There is the standard tax that was changed recently to 14% due to COVID-19 issues. It used to be 16. The zero rated, that is the same, and there are also other tax like withholding and for agricultural products. Those are in different categories, but let me explain this. Zero rated tax, this keeps on changing with the budget. For example, last year budget, you'll find building materials zero rated. The other time it was electronics or even the technology called stuff, they're zero rated. So zero rated stuff or simply the health things. So zero rated stuff keeps on changing with the budget. Like I guess this time round, health stuff will not be taxed greatly because of the current issues is a global issue. But we have the standard, which currently is 14%. So you edit and put that 14%. And remember, when this one change, you can still go to the setting and you change it as well. So say okay, it's a standard rate. We have tax exempt. Tax exempt usually apply to those people who don't pay tax. Initially, all the members of parliament never used to pay tax, and currently all of them pay tax, so they are not exempted, apart from some presidential services and the non-governmental organizations. They don't pay tax and they have a certificate to back it up. So if you're an accountant and you happen to meet or to come across people who don't pay tax, they normally have a certificate, just the same way they have certificate exempting them from tax. And the other tax is, we have those withholding tax, and I'll explain for you more in details because I have a separate video just for tax video. You check it out, and if you have any question, you can contact me or you just simply comment below there. Once you comment below a question, I'll be able to get back to you. So that is tax. You click, you edit, you change the rate. These codes, you already have them. You can also change them if you want. You give the description, then okay. Sometimes you can want to link them to a particular product, but you don't need to worry about this, simply because if you must link them to this product, then what happens is that you say, maybe if you purchase, now you have to link it to a product, yeah, or if it's in a sale no, but purchases. But so far, don't worry about it. Save the changes. Yes. It's okay. Our standard, the rates are gone. Let's just save the changes once again. It's 14% standard. Good. You apply. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how to set tax in Sage Accounting, also known as Sage Line 50 Financial Controller. Save the changes. Yes. Good move. Now let's go to the next step, the transactions. Now, with the customer in our hand, suppliers on the other side, and the list of items, plus the accounts which these items are posted through. Now we have a go ahead to start transactions. Remember, in these transactions, all these transactions, they have a rule. I was saying previously that all of them follow the accounting rule. For example, accounting circle normally go like this. In brief, we normally we capture those journalizing, whereby we capture those transactions that affected our accounts either directly or indirectly. Then these will be posted to their various respective accounts. After they are posted, then there will be a pre-reports of the same, whereby you can check the report of your transaction. Then later on, there are correction. After correction are done, now we have a post report, and after the post reports, our accounting cycle is done. I will explain for you in details how all these programs obey our accounting cycle principle, and that's why they're suitable for doing any accounting work, provided you choose the correct industry. Now, transaction for our customers. We want to purchase from suppliers, modules, suppliers, new purchase order, purchase order. Now let's put a purchase. You can choose the system to be putting for you the number, auto number, or simply you do your numbers. It is recommended you do the numbers, because most of the time you purchase from different suppliers and they all have their unique way of numbering their documents, or the documents you use. So let's purchase from Autotech Limited. Reference if we don't. Autotech is in Kilgoris, as you can see. Now let's purchase this. We have photocopier machines, we only need like 20 pieces of this. Remember, our quantity we had 80, so it means we had 50. So it means if we order more than what we have in the stock, the transaction will not go through. But we order 20, the balance each and every time will be shown the balance. You can see down here our tax has already been calculated. Tax rate 14, standard transaction. Very important to note that. And you can see now the gross is tax inclusive. They give you the total what you purchase, but they add the taxation. The VAT is 22,400, and that is done automatically. You save. We have just placed an order with Kilgoris. Let's place another order. This is purchase order, remember. Now with Greenfield Limited, let's purchase another different item. Audit services. How many of such services do we need? Maybe we have like 5 different areas to be audited. And I want you to take note of something here. For services, you are still given that option of keying in the price, but for product it will come automatically. However, you can always key in or change, because you can decide to be using a different thing. So this is tax, and once your services are taxed, the system will automatically put it. Not unless you want this audit service to pick a different taxation from this. When you set it, you will indicate the type of tax code you want it to pick. If you don't indicate, automatically it will choose the standard rate. And that's the beautiful thing about it. So you, as the person using Sage, you have to bear that in mind from the word go. Let's save. Close it. Now we have done the purchase order. If you do the purchase order, you are able to even check what is in the purchase order. For instance, purchase order list, modules, suppliers. You see suppliers, purchase order list. So you know that we have only ordered 2 stuff. If you have more than that, you will know you've ordered what from who and the amount. Thank you very much for that flashback. Now let's go to the placing the order. Now this is the procedure with the Sage. You make purchase order, you'll place this order, they are delivered before update. Now we are in the second option, you place the order. Remember, you can only place the order that is in a purchase order. If you don't make a purchase order, you are not able to place the order. So let's place the order, and to place this order, if you place the order, you click on order. See the top here, order goods, yes, you have placed the order, then you say yes, then you close. So if you place the order, it will disappear from that stage. It means it's in another level. For example, you come to place the order, the one you place the order disappear, it comes to the delivery, and under the delivery it will tell you that it is on order. So we have placed the order. Let us proceed to order it. You click, and this is something you need to know. Once you place the order, you don't place it again, you go to the next stage. In the next stage, once you open it, you now order it, and if you order it, you not again find it here to move to the next stage. For example, if you open placing order, you only get order as the first one. That's what you deal with. delivered, you now order that, you now come to deliver it. You don't order again because it's already on order. So you check not to search transaction to avoid confusion, because if you don't, you'll really find it very hard doing transactions. But if you follow, you're good. So let's do the order. Click there. That's now, it's already on order, so you don't do this again. You come just to deliver. Select. You can print now or print later. Just do print later. Delivery is complete. Now it disappears from this. Then we come to the updates. Now this is where we are preparing for its payment. That is why we find it here. And here you see we have what is called, it has already been delivered but not yet posted, and that is why now we need to do what? To update it. There is this go receive note, but we don't need to use it. In fact, we only use these two. Amend if we want to amend the order, and good receive note, not in very many cases, but I shall come up with an example to show you when we use this one. For now, after purchase order, you place this order and they're even delivered. Now you just update it to make it ready for payment. So you click and you update, then you update, then you save, then you save. Posted, yes. Now it's ready for payment. You can proceed to pay the supplier after passing throughout that. So you click and you pay the supplier. All the transaction, the amount you need to pay him will come here. I don't want to handle payment for now because we have not created the bank account, and we shall do that in a short while. Now you make purchase order, you place the order, you deliver and update. I've already done one with this, with Autotech. So once you go through that procedure, that's when you'll find out all these transactions here. If you are making payment, you'll always pay bank account. You can choose various bank accounts, petty cash, from where you want to pay. You choose it down there and you proceed to pay. Supposing you choose Greenfield and it doesn't have all those transactions, so when I say okay, there's actually nothing because the purchase order has not been processed fully, or rather the purchase order has not gone through the complete circle to make it ready for payment. So I want to go and also make that purchase order ready, then I'll set up a bank account and we proceed to pay them before we move to customer. And just pay attention. If you have a question, you can always ask below or simply comment, or if you have challenges handling it, I'll put the link below for our Facebook page. You can contact, you drop a question, you can make calls, but only in working hours. You are aware working hours currently is from 5 to 4. Yeah, later than that, please don't call. Now we had purchase order, placing order, deliver and update. I repeat myself a lot because you need to get all of this. If you don't get all of it, you never handle it at all. Now we had done purchase order. Now Because I'm repeating, I'll just be very fast now. You click and you order. That is done. Yes. Close. Then you come to this. It's already in order. An order, and it has to be done what? Delivered with later, and it's no longer here. Then it has to be updated. You can see the first one is updated, the second one is not. So you take note of that. Done. It is updated. Now let's proceed to make payments, but before payment, let us organize our bank. This is how we organize our bank. Modules, bank. Now our bank is here. Current bank, account, and all this. Let's assume this is our bank. I just want to edit. Remember, you can create a new bank. Like if you click here, you say new account, you'll be able to create new account. Your bank name, family bank. You could create that family bank. You choose the account. Is a cash account, is a check account, all those you choose. Account number, minimum account, all this you do there. Maybe if we reach that's minimum limit, start code, you put this date and things like that. Next, bank name is family bank. Street, avenue. Yes, it's as simple as that. This is enough. Now we have our bank. All these details are optional, but if you have them, it's always important you put them down. Like I said, remember, this is your bank account, the bank account of your company. So you can have a website of your company, email of your company, not of this bank. So you don't confuse that. Your bank is family. Actually, you have a family bank here. Your name can be the name of the company, can be Interswan Creation, and this one is in the bank because this one will for bank name now is family bank. Let me just correct that to avoid confusion. Interswan Creation Bank. Interswan Creation. That's the name of our company. That's the name of our company, but it also has a bank. It also has a bank, and that bank is in family bank. Could be equity, KBC, or cooperative, etc. Now this is the details of your company. Like if we had website www.interswancreation.com, the name of your company, website of your company, and the email can be info to that. And for those people who need website, we are good at that. So you make an attempt of ordering one, to propel your business digitally and to reach out to very many people, especially at this time that most of the movement is limited. It is important to have a website, leave alone the social media, social pages and things like that. It's important to have a website, and we will do for you that in a very affordable rate. Don't worry about the content. We even make for you the content. All you need to do is tell us the name of the business, what you do, and you pay. Leave the rest to us, and delivered in less than 24 hours, depending on the content of what you want. We, however, do thorough research before putting that content, and before hosting that website we need to counter check, cross check with you, so that at least you are sure that the content that is going outside there represent the true identity, the true picture of what your company does. Thank you. Let's proceed to creating bank. There is opening balance to enter. There's individual transaction as one value. All these ones, there is no opening balance. So if there is no opening, there is nothing in account, you don't put opening balance. As individual transaction is not recommended. Just always say as one value, because your bank will only capture your account, not unless you have several banks. So in the banks, how much do we have? We need to pay people. Let's have like 2 million. Now we have that Indus One creation is in the family bank. Now let's proceed to make the payment. After making the payment, we will proceed to do the next category, that is dealing with customers. Now let's go back to suppliers, modular suppliers. We did the purchase order, we placed the order, delivered, and even updated. Now you want to pay. If you say pay suppliers, remember there are two ways to do this. You can say pay supplier, or you simply come to bank, Modulus bank, and from bank you can say pay supplier, and you choose the bank. Our bank is Indus One Creation. That's the bank which has money. You do the check and you proceed to pay. So let me use this one is because I want you to master the procedure in supplier process chart. You make the payment, place the order, delivered, update, and now you make the payments. Now let's make payment. Pay supplier. Now to pay these suppliers, Autotech, you can pay this Autotech. We have your checks, check number. Every company have their check number, which is unique. Now the payment is here, and look, if you have to pay in full, you just say pay in full. Automatically it will write for you 180. It will write for you in words. You check the company that has paid you is this one here. Then you proceed to pay in full, then you say save. Now let's pay the next one. Autotech Greenfield. Now we want to pay in half, and we also have maybe discount. So we want to give this person discount of maybe he will not pay us, he will pay less this. That is the discount. But you realize that we've given out the discount, but we will receive only part payment, maybe 120. So if you save, you've given this check number, and we are not paying it all. You choose the bank, interest on creations. Now that's the bank. Now you can pay. If you add discount, you just key in the discount payment later on, but if you pay half, it means the next time you can still come and you get the balance. And once you get the balance, now you can pay in full and you proceed to make that payment. Pay, save. Once you save, automatically it's paid. You forgot to do the check number, but ensure you are very keen. You do the check number and you do the date. Very important with checks. You know, there are those things that make a check not to go through, one of them being the dates, the amount in words and amount in figures or digits. They have to tally, and of course date, to avoid things like post dated or stale check, and the check number. Very important. Leave alone the signatory, because currently these systems are able to generate what is called electronic signature, and that enable you to move much faster. Thank you very much. Now let's go to customers. I want to take you to customer journey briefly, then that will mark the end of this video. In our next video, we'll be handling two things, and the things will be: one, we'll be handling reports; two, we'll be handling those activities that you do when you want to close down your company for the next financial year, like depreciation, reconciliation, and organizing all those reports. Then we'll go to reporting. I show you how to do the reporting and things like that. We also have things like these activities, like how to do contra entry, financial year, report designer. All of them will be handling them in the next video. That can be a little bit longer, but it's less than an hour. It is worth your time because you get these skills for free. In return, you just need to subscribe to our channel. You can give our video thumbs up, because that will help us generate more quality videos for you. Thank you. Models. Customers. We can have quotation, sales order, allocating the stock, we dispatch them, posting invoice, and we run statements. Now, with the customers, it's not a must you go through all this. Customer, we can jump to invoice. Like if you don't want to do all this drama, new quotation, new sales order, you allocate stock, before they are dispatched, you post the invoice. You just come to invoice, because in most cases what we give to our customers is invoice. What is invoice? Invoice is that document that enable you to politely remind a customer of the payment of goods and services your company offered to them. So once you see an invoice, just know it's a payment demand. So this is normally done after I've given you goods and services, because if you pay in cash, I'll give you a receipt. I'll give you a receipt if you pay in cash. And let's come to another question. I will show you how to deal with the people who pay cash in Sage. So I'll make like 3 transactions. The first one, I will not follow through all this. I just jump to invoice, we post them and we run the payments. And this one, I'm going to make 2 invoices here for both our customers. We currently have only 2 customers, and you can see that one when you click customers list. You may add more during your practice, just to perfect. Practice makes perfect. If you have this software, fine and good. If you don't, I'll put a link below this video and you can use that link to order for this software at a small fee for practice, for your own good. Thank you very much. Come to customers. Now let's do invoice. This is what is common with most businesses. Make an invoice, posting invoice and payment. It's always invoice, payment, receipt, card, money. You give me money, I give you receipt. I give you goods and services, you fail to pay, I give you invoice, and maybe later payment follow thereafter. And we also have the batch of this. So let's start. New invoice. New invoice. I want to give to this person called Felix Hood. These terms, they keep on bringing. These terms normally come when you are setting up a new customers, and these terms are always like this particular customer, if you can allow them to have credit limit. There are normally some credit limit that you can allow to a customer, just the same way the supplier can allow to you, and all these ones you handle when you start up the company. But since most of our businesses try by all means to avoid debts, sometimes there's no need for these terms, because the terms are, I give you goods and services, you give me the money, and no strings attached. If the goods are bad, refund them. There's a procedure, and that's when I'll show you how to do the refunds. Refund inwards, refund outwards there. But for the terms, these normally apply to those company with the relationship to their customer, usually for a long period of time, and especially after you've known your consumer behavior and payment. Your consumer behavior towards your products and services, that's when you set. You'll know that consumer X will come and will pay full. Consumer X will come pay half, and will come and pay the balance at a later date. That's when you set these terms. You set them, take note, you set them when you set new customers, and you can also edit them. Like I can come and edit the customer, and once you edit this customer, you just drop down, you get this customer, and from there you will come and get the terms here. It's always credit controls. Credit controls, we have the limit, date, average. These are the terms. Terms agreed. These are the restriction down here. Yeah, so you can add them instantly or remove them. Credit position good. If they are bad, warning legal, you always come and deal with the customer there to avoid some headache. Now with that said and done, let's just save this one. Now let's proceed to make. We want to make an invoice. You click make an invoice, make it for this Felix Hood. What are they buying from us? Felix Hood needs some audit services, and the price will come automatically. He needs some of these 3 farms to be edited. That is costing that much. The VAT is there. That's how much. Auto number, I had said you can generate your number. save. Tell you the work of all this, like if you want to recall, you always recall only what is in the service there. I'll show you that, and you always do that when it's easier. When an invoice has a number, that's when you can recall it. That is why it is important for you to write these numbers, because that's the number you use to recall this invoice, make edit, and even confirm the payment through them, just for audit purposes. Then we come to the next invoice. This one goes for Millifox. Terms, I already explained about it. Millifox is doing a photocopying machine. How many does he want? He wants like 30 of them. That's what we'll give them. Let's say save. We have saved that. So invoice, then we need to post these invoices. So we skip all this procedure. So you come invoice, post invoices. Now once you click, you just update. You may edit if you want to make changes, but in most cases update. Okay, once it's posted, you'll see there you will sometimes do posts. Boom, it's posted. Now this invoice is ready for payment. Money is coming from customer. The sweet money. Money that comes from a customer is sweet money. You update the same. Boom, it's done. Money coming from customer is sweet money. Good. Now let's proceed to receive payment from our customers. You may run a statement for these customers, and from there you are able to know, oh, who and who owes me what. You are able to know from this customer who, things like that. But that is a lesson in our next video. General reports. Now let's receive payments from this customer. Receive payments. Now once you receive payments, you want this money to go to which bank? To current bank or this or other bank? If you see a bank with red, it means there's an overdraft. There's some money withdrawn from that bank, and maybe it you have some limits with overdraft. We'll talk more about it on the reports. Now this money, I want it to go to Intus One creation equals of reconciliation, and for the purposes of bank reconciliation, I want to maintain that all the transaction to go to this. Remember, you can have pay M-Pesa in this list, or even till, and with that it makes work easier. You could proceed and do reconciliation. So the name is here, name, and all this is there. Reference is the receipt number or the payments customer is paying us, and remember, is paying us, we are receiving payment from Felixhood. Just drop down. If you drop down like this, you'll be able to know the amount this person is paying us. And reference, this is always can be receipt number or check number if they happen to pay us in check or in cash. You can pay in full. You pay in full, you are given a discount of 3,000 shillings. Yeah, now in the receipt it will be there. Say save. Save. It is done. Let's pay the next one the same way. You drop down, you pay half. The same thing happened. Instead of this one is paying half for ourselves. You pay half, there's no discount. Amount that you pay must be indicated here, 250. So in the receipt, you have to indicate that. Just say automatically this amount will come there and the balance will be there. That is for Felix. If you happen to pay again, the Felix. Felix paid all of it. Millie Fox, this is the balance. So this balance you can decide to give them discount. You are given small discount because you delayed payment. You just say automatic. This will come. You give that discount. Then you save. I've forgotten the reference, but don't forget that. In fact, during payment, be attentive to 3 things. Number 1, you have to be attentive to the person you are paying. Number 2, the date. The date, being attention to person you pay means that you even know the amount you need to pay that person, and you also need to know the name of that person. Then number 2, know the date of payment. When are you paying, or when is this customer paying you? Then number 3, there has to be a reference, somewhere to refer, usually check number, things like that. So after checking that, you say automatic, you save, then you can proceed. Now you've received payment. If we were having batch, you will just do the batch, and the magic with the batch is that you can have so many customers and you make payment. You receive payment from them in a bulky way, and again you receive payment from them the same way. It's the same procedure, only that you're handling so many people at the same time. That's very good. Now, before we quit for this video, I want to say one thing. I want to show you one example. If you are using the new quotation just with one customer, and then we will run the statements here, then we can wait for the next video. Now let's do quotation. Let me explain something before we do quotation. Remember, most of our business rely on a day-to-day transaction like invoice, posting, and payment. But for those people who are doing procurement or in a tender or things like that, usually tender or procurement, most of them follow this procedure. So you can as well use this one. I don't know what you do, but try to fit in your business in this system, because you understand your business better than anyone. Now come to quotation, new quotation. We make a quotation. Let's make for Millie Fox. Maybe the Fox, the terms are there. Millie now is coming for the audit service, and this time around he wants it for his 5 different firms. She also needs photocopier machine for those is very 5 centers, but let's assume it's a procurement. So this is number 55. I'm putting this number to show you later on how to recall a transaction that you've already posted. Remember, in Sage you don't go to previous. It's difficult to get that, but you can always recall a transaction. Once you have the number, it becomes very easy. See all this footer details and things like that. Now let's save. Ladies and gentlemen, that was new quotation. Now let's make order with that. Procurement circles. If you do millifox, the transaction will come. Was it with millifox? No, Felix would. This is how it happened. You make a new quotation, but you want to recall that quotation because you need that detail to use in a passage to use that details in new sales order. You just do the number, it will come. Now this has to be product quote. This has to be in what? In purchase order as well. So let us move to that procedure. Come to this one. It's millifox. We can give it that. You say yes. If you just give it that, our sales order will come. Remember, we were in a quotation. We will use this number to recall it. We will use that again to allocate before we dispatch. Remember, this procedure is just used with the people on procurement. They mostly use it. However, there are those people in procurement that still use the invoice and posting. This is the in thing. Every company do this, but some do this. Others do both. You understand your company better, so do what is necessary. Then we have to allocate the stock. When you come to allocation of the stock, you'll have all the stocks in sales order. You get them down here. So for you to allocate, you just click and allocate. Say yes, you allocate. Now after allocating stock, come to this stock and then you dispatch. Allocated full, you now dispatch. You dispatch. Dispatch the reports. After dispatching report, we need to post the invoice there, but there is a problem somewhere. It's allocated, now dispatched. We just need to dispatch for quotes or performers. Now for quotes or performers, we dispatch. Now the reason why dispatch is not working is simply because we started from quotes. For sale order, let me just show you a very brief thing. Now with Felix, terms agreed, Felix auctioneers, all purposes. This is 33 to recall it later just in case of any trouble. Close. Now for quotation, if you have for quotation, you cannot always dispatch them because they have to be audited. I'll show you how that is done. But now go straight to new purchase order. After making purchase order, then you come to allocate this stock. Just proceed to allocate it. Yes, it is allocated full. Then come and dispatch it. Where Felix? This Felix. Yeah, dispatch. Now it's working through. Print later. It's already been dispatched. The dispatch is complete. So once the dispatch is complete, you can now post that invoice. Remember, you only post what has been dispatched. If you don't dispatch, no posting, and your transaction ends there. Boom, it is posted there. Now just a quick reminder, for those people in procurement and supplies, if you happen to do your purchase order, because those are the guys, the entrepreneurs, those are the guys who follow this path. If you follow this path, you don't use quotation, not unless you working with these organizations that normally want quotation first before you are given an order. Remember, in most cases, quotation is normally just a rough idea of what you offer. So you offer quotation, you send to your consumer quotation, then the consumers in return will tell you what they want out of that quotation. Then now the transaction start with the order. So bear in mind, that's the reason why you are not able to always allocate anything in the quotation, because this can always change. But now you know sales order is a real deal. Now if you do a sales order, then it go throughout all this process to the final and make the payment. We had not made payment for this. It was from Felix Suits, and this is just paying us in full. I already did invoice, I already did discount. Remember, if you are dealing with customers, this is called discount received or discount allowed. It normally gives relief to your business. If you are dealing with, sorry, let me come up again. If you are dealing with customers, this is discount allowed, and this discount is an expense to you, because if you give a customer discount, you have to foot that discount and see where you can fix it immediately. So that's a liability to your company. If you are dealing with a supplier payment and you happen to have a discount, this discount give you some relief. That is some small income to your company indirectly. That's why we say to give you some payment relief, because if you are supposed to pay 10,000 shillings and you are told no, just pay 8,000 and forget about the rest, that 2,000, even though you don't receive that money in form of cash, but it is a relief to your payment. So discount allowed, discount received, discount given. Discount allowed is discount given. This is done to customers. Discount received is received from suppliers. Make the difference with the two. Now that is customers procedure. In our next video, I will show you how to do reports and a bit of transactions, because now we will have things like how do you handle goods that have been refunded, goods refund inwards, good refund outwards, how we do contra entries, how we do correction of errors. As you are aware that in accounting system there are several types of errors, we normally correct those type of errors, and also reporting in details. After that, then we will finally come to do what is called depreciation, reconciliation, before we set up our company. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for listening to me. I hope to see you in the next video. Remember, practice makes perfect. You need these tools. I charge you small fee if you happen to fill those forms, the ones I'm putting below, the links below. Kindly text through the numbers I've given in those forms, because we receive a lot of information from different people, and the moment you don't text, it's very tricky to work on your order much faster. So I leave my numbers in those forms. You text, there is one number that strictly is for texting, and the other one is for calls. You can make a call. Otherwise, so far, thank you very much again for listening. See you again in the next video of Sage. Bye bye.